All right, another week, and
Oh, Jesus.
oh,
Sorry.
dude, Jesus is here for
Yeah,
you.
do that again.
Jesus was here for the other week, another week of
Yeah.
just absolutely interesting garbage to parse through.
Amen.
Um, the first one of which we had a little. I don't want to say take it away from you, but we had a field disagreement, right, over a conversation we had. So when it
Sure.
comes to the legalizing of specifically sports gambling, right, in the
Yep.
last few
Yep.
years, what that looks like. One thing we generally agree on, which is a place to start, is that, when, you write it right away. Freedom is generally a good thing. I feel like that we always both come from enough of that viewpoint, right? So freedom is generally a good thing, yes. But I feel like our disagreement came over the fact that I'm hard freedom of gambling, and I more just hate the aspect of the marketing of it, especially when other things are vices in society that you have freedom over, but they don't. The marketing's much more controlled. So go ahead. Do you have any sort of actual hard anti-gambling, get rid of it for everyone stance? I feel like you don't, but yeah. Let's hear. Let's hear if your brain is wrinkled or very smooth on this. Go ahead, dude. Let me know.
Wow. Wow. Are you the arbiter of whether or not it's wrinkled or smooth? Is that what
Well,
we're saying here?
the problem with me is I'm always
So,
smooth, but for you, it's a coin flip. Sorry, go ahead.
wow. The biggest backhanded compliment.
You always
Um,
got to keep it real.
yeah, the accessibility of sports gambling to me is a little bit out of control because sports gambling was, in a sense, legal. Because you could go to like casinos and place bets. But the fact that somebody can drop $1,000 from their bank account into a betting app from their
So
couch
true.
on football Sunday feels like a bad
There's
idea.
definitely agreement
Uh,
also between us then that having it so accessible in the palm of your hand can be tricky.
I mean, have you
You
seen
know,
the amount of money these companies have made so far? And that's purely leeching
I
off of
don't. I should have looked that up. I know at one point at the start they were taking
crazy.
losses. Now that's not to
Sure.
say that the Vegas casinos, who also then established online sports betting, are taking losses. But I like the FanDuel and the DraftKings. Let's look that up real quick.
It just,
Does it
I
not?
don't
Okay.
know. It just feels like it's so ripe for abuse.
Well,
And
and
I
let's
will
be clear
say,
here. There are enough
yeah,
people, and I'm not going to put a number on it, that do um, dabble in gambling in a somewhat, okay, they are profitable now, in a somewhat responsible way and use it for
very.
just like whatever. Like you just have a little fun with it, no big deal. It's always the few people that it really can be ruinous to their life, which is facts, bro. Absolute facts. Nobody's going to say that's not facts. Then what do you
Yeah.
do with that? Like, but again, would you advocate in any scenario for just getting rid of the ability to gamble? Like it does, like
No.
in a vacuum. Let's even forget about the accessibility of it. Like just the freedom of it. Do you, do you think that would be something that would work, or you feel you support at all?
No, I mean, probably not. No.
All right, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. So then it's all about it's a discussion around like what we should allow. And
Yeah, I think it's the extent, and especially with what you said, the advertising is insane.
oh, everyone thinks that's so
They
disgusting.
spend
Oh, dude.
oodles, like millions upon millions of dollars in advertising. It is crazy. And the
So
way that it's
much.
steeped, I kind of resent the way that it's steeped into like sports media now too. Like something feels gross about that to me.
Of course, dude. It starts and ends with the old like conflict of interest. You know, it's
Yeah.
like ugh.
Yes. I mean, the NBA, what, not 2 or 3 weeks ago, had a big scandal. And you know it's only a matter of time. It's not if, but when that the NFL has also
Correct.
a big
Now, that's not to say that
insiders
it
and
couldn't
tilted
happen
games.
in a small way every once in a while where you caught it, and that would be fine. So that could also be a thing. But I think both me and you agree that like over time that's never going to happen. Something big's going to happen over time where someone gets scammed in some way.
There's too
and
much incentive.
you throw the ethics of the game that was being played in question. Oh yeah, there's so many implications there. Because I just
just
don't
think
think. Yeah, go ahead.
it does a disservice to the integrity of professional sports, I think. Just
So,
purely
but
because
again,
of how much incentive there is.
but again, and I'm not saying this happens. In a vacuum, you tell me if this is wrong. If you properly regulate and control it, you can have your cake and eat it too. It just you have to spend money on strong oversight, and you have to adhere. You have to have police officers that really adhere not to the money but to strong principles that can police the shit, and they're given power to do so. Then fine, but it doesn't feel like that's the world we live in, right? So that's why over time I feel like it would just something bad would happen. You could argue like the level of what's happened already and the frequency is already pretty bad. I think that's safe to argue. So
Sure. I mean, how
Yeah.
long has gambling been legalized? In,
not long,
I
bro.
mean, maybe 4-ish years, depending on where you live.
And
You
Scary
know?
Terry's out here freaking doing weird stuff. Allegedly. Allegedly.
Who's that?
Terry Rozier, the guy that got mixed up the other week. The last one.
Oh,
Big
gotcha.
high profile one. Yeah. He plays for the Miami Heat.
Gotcha. He's a coach?
And the shitty
Oh,
thing
he plays
about
for the Miami.
No, the coach was in some poker scandal that got rolled up. The shitty thing
Oh.
about Terry Rozier is the timeline, and people I see this on the internet. I haven't verified this, but I've seen it enough that I feel like I know it's true. So the timeline of this stuff, the FBI flagged a game in 2023 where he looks like allegedly faked an injury, and the data never lies, which is why these people, I can't believe they do shit like this. There's a whole bunch of bets placed on his specific over unders in just such an anomalous way. Anomaly way? Where's Smooth Brain over here? I already told you. But you know what I mean. So
I think you had it correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. I might have said that correct. Who knows? We try our
Anomalous.
best. We really do. So,
Smooth
anyways,
Brain Central.
here's the big like, what the hell's going on here? The FBI flagged it and communicated it to the NBA. Well, later that year, he gets traded for draft capital to another team, and the NBA didn't say shit. The NBA didn't say shit. So the NBA had the FBI tell them that allegedly Scary Terry's out here, faking injuries
And they-
for over-under props. And the NBA said they investigated and didn't find any wrongdoing. So, like, I mean, without looking at the data ourselves, we like to not be grifters here. We like to talk and, hey, we get it. Me and you don't see the hard numbers and of like what the betting was behind that, but that seems real. Like, so yeah, Heat fans are like, what the fuck, man? So again, this all goes back to this shit is gonna like, unless you have strong police officers to maintain an order, shit's gonna go bad. Shit's gonna go bad.
Yeah, again, I don't know, because I used the driving drunk example here,
Yeah, but
which you sort of rebutted
yeah,
because you said,
you can't drive drunk because other people are on the road, and that you just like causing them harm. You can cause them harm.
Right,
That's-
but like, let's say hypothetically you have a father of children and is spending money that he can't afford to lose on gambling.
No,
you
yeah,
know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there is a way where that leaches out into harm greater than just the individual.
Yes, I agree, but there's levels to this, and crashing into a family of 5 somehow, or who gives a shit what it is? Crashing into another car at all with a human being that passes is not the same as gambling. But I do agree that there are greater ramifications to out of control vices that people get addicted to, of course, especially when it comes to spending your money. And if you're the breadwinner of the family, there's always that old adage, back in the day, Dad would go to the bar and Mom would try to drag him home because you'd spend all the money for the week after you got a paycheck. Whoever the fuck thinks that's true, but same thing. Like, you're right. If some dad has just gambling all the family money away, and they're supposed to live on that. That's true.
Let me ask you this.
So, yeah.
Do you think, in terms of the general well-being of American society, has legalized gambling improved or been a detriment to it?
So, and this is totally
what
our
I'm saying?
opinion, but this feels like a detriment to me, man. This
Okay,
feels
sure.
like
Okay,
a
so we're kind
detriment to me. I don't like
kind
it.
of on the
Oh,
same
I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. Everyone does their thing, right? But I will say that beginning of this, I played games with it. I tried to do the math on it, and I spent not a lot of money, but more than I would have. Then I probably should have, knowing that you lose at the beginning of this, and I've really cut down to basically like nothing. Me and the old
Yeah.
try couple males that live in this house will try to pick like a whole
Sure.
Sunday slate of game and just like put $1 on it. You know what I'm saying? Like stupid things like that. But which is
Yeah,
why I
we've
think it
been
should be
doing it.
legal. Like we actually have fun with that. We kind of write the games down. You never get it right, but you're like, you might get the first 1 p.m. slate right, and you're like, oh yeah, like let's go. This is cool. $1 for 100 or whatever.
Yeah. I just really
But
hope
yeah,
that, like, because it would probably be pretty easy to put safeguards in to sort of automatically monitor transactions and identifying when somebody is clearly out of control.
yeah, but then that's the kind of
But like
technology
a
that's real
gambling app,
privacy reaching. It's like, the libertarian in me is like, I'd have to think about that.
well, it could
But
just
I
be
get it.
something to the extent of like, hey,
Yeah.
you've done $10,000 worth of bets in the last week, and that's clearly, out of pattern of your typical betting behavior. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and
Like there
look,
has to
let,
be
let me let
ways.
me entertain this for real. It comes back to having a good policing of it then, because the people making the money aren't going
Sure.
to police that. The people making the money are going to be like, put another 10 grand, and we
Well,
don't give a fuck. So
exactly.
how did
Yes.
right exactly? So you need a strong. I don't want to say
Yeah.
state, but that's the most likely solution. But you need a strong police force in some way, grounded on principles
Right.
that can actually keep it in the boundaries. It's hard. It's hard for us to see when, at the end of the day, um, it's all about profits. It's all about profits. It always has
Yeah.
been, but
We.
it seems
Yeah.
like there's more and
Mhm.
more rules that are being like done away with, more and more as time goes by. So it's all about making money.
Yeah. We worship at the altar of capitalism in this country.
You
God
got it,
bless it.
dude. You got it.
Um.
And I think any reasonable person understands growth and productivity, but Jesus, at what cost? At what cost, my
Yeah.
friends? At the cost of
Right. Because this isn't a service that's.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. It's not building anything. This is an industry that
No.
is feels like a
No.
leech on
Correct.
what is typically middle and lower class folks trying
We
to catch a break.
we used to be a society where some more conservative states would say no to lotteries because gambling. Even though
Yeah.
lotteries in a lot of states, and I don't fact check me on this, but I know for a lot of
They're
states
lucrative.
early on. No, hang on. Well, yes, but for a lot of states early on, a good amount of that money went to education. That's how they would sell it. Oh, let's start a
Mm,
lottery because X amount will go to education. People are like, fine. If
sure.
that's the case, then okay. Maybe I can see the freedom, but the trade off, and it provides for social services. This shit does none of that. This shit does none of that, homie. They just print money. They don't care. And God knows what's in that big bullshit bill for like tax credits that these you think the DraftKings win in those and the regular guy doesn't? Of course. So they're gonna pay like nothing in taxes. So it's like they're vibing detriment into society and just like extracting every dollar with like no investment in any social benefit at all.
Right.
Not
Right.
good, dude. Not good.
Yeah.
Whatever. They'll call me a communist. They can. Fuck them. Fuck them.
Fuck 'em. There you go.
All right, we agreed a lot more than I thought on this.
Yeah, it's just something about seeing all of the, and we've said this twice already, but seeing
Yeah.
the amount of money spent on advertising is like,
It's
ugh.
gross,
I
man.
don't know, it just feels gross.
Gross.
Feels
Yeah, it's
gross.
gross.
But yeah, we can move past it.
But I still, again, to put a bow on it, I still believe strongly that people should be able to gamble. I do. I just, when you don't reflect at all on like how to make that happen in a way that's the safest possible, bad, and shame on you. Anyways,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, well, because freedoms always come with, there's always a pitfall when you grant people freedoms, right? Like will always be people who suffer because they just can't handle that level of freedom. So it's just
Yeah, true.
something you have to deal with, right? Like
Right.
it's like
Right.
guns
correct.
in this country. Guns are very accessible, and
Yeah.
as a result, we have a lot of tragedies, and we just accept that that's the trade-off for the freedoms that we have. And it's
Yes,
like, okay, well,
and
Surely we could
to
be doing a
boil it
little better
down
there with that freedom.
to boil it down to the most simple way to explain it, if you have a lot of gun crime in an area that doesn't have a lot of opportunity, you should increase the opportunity for the people in that area, and then gun crime will go down. There you go. You're welcome. There you go. You're welcome. Sometimes I just come up with TED Talks. I got to write this down in my notes section. Anyways.
Good.
I just vomited in my mouth a little bit.